Hey y'all, what's going on? It's Barb Meets World. We are back again for another recap and review for the Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 9, episode 5, Blast from Everyone's Past. Okay. Y'all already know what I need you to do, which is, as always, I need you to hit that like button. It helps me and my channel in terms of the algorithm. It helps me attract new subscribers such as yourself. So go ahead, hit that like button, please, and thank you. Also, while you're at it, hit the subscription button, become a Barb's babe. We would love to have you. And if you find yourselves with an opinion, with a comment, with a question, anything of the sorts, please drop down in that comment section below. I would love to keep the conversation going after this premiere. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know every single time I make an upload, as well as share me with all of your peoples, y'all. So hey, let me drop this down. How are you all doing on this fine Monday? Whew. Yeah, Monday, because I'm gonna premiere this on Monday. So, y'all, the season is still giving. I enjoyed this episode. It was a bit more chill than I, had anticipated, but nonetheless, I still enjoyed it. Still enjoying the season. We got like 2 seconds of Gizelle. Other than that, it was, all hands. We're still down in Lake Norman. The new girls are still showing up as far as I'm concerned. I don't know about you and the rest of these people online, but I am more than satisfied with Stacey's performance, with Kay's performance, with Jassi's performance. The only person I'm not, too fond of is Jacqueline, and she can go take her best friend Mia. Yeah, they can go over there and sit on the sidelines. But y'all, let's get into it. We pick up right where we left off in the previous episode, which is with Mia and Karen talking or whatever. We see Mia giving us the rundown on how 3 years ago, y'all, this wasn't some outing they just had last week. 3 years ago, when her and Joy and Karen went out, that upon concluding their girls' night, Karen pocket dialed them, and it was revealed that she was not with Ray. She was very much with someone else. We never quite got the who that was, but inquiring minds can only assume. Blue eyes. Something of the sort, right, y'all? Something of the sort. So we have no idea who that was. She plays it casually. She plays it a lot more casual than the usual Karen we would know. I will say that. And she doesn't quite know why. She doesn't admit anything except for the fact that they were drinking brown liquor. Okay, they were drinking brown liquor that night. And she goes on to say that she did get behind the wheel and she realized, she shouldn't be driving or whatever. And she pulled over and called her driver. Now, Karen, you have failed to give us any insight, any information on the allegations, the charges that you're facing right now. But you came on here and maybe that was a slip of the tongue, I don't know, but you came on here and revealed that 3 years ago, you found yourself behind a wheel when you shouldn't have been behind that wheel. Now, Karen, do you really think that that was conducive and beneficial to your current situation? You might as well have answered all their questions if you were going to make that type of spontaneous utterance. Just saying, I'm nobody's lawyer out here. I'm nobody's judge. I'm nobody's nothing. But what I am is somebody who's not stupid. And I just feel like that was not helpful to your situation to say that. But somehow, here we are. Here we are. You said what you said, and it is what it is. Stacey, at this point, she's like, they keep coming for you. It was this second, it was this that second. She's really going into like defensive friend mode with this whole thing. And I'm like, okay, at least somebody else is. And Wendy was as well. Wendy did speak up quite a bit in this episode, y'all, because she's like, with friends like these, why do you need enemies? And that's honestly what I was asking my damn self, because I'm like, 3 years? You was out on this man? Yeah, Karen, I hope you don't think that you guys were ever friends. You should be happy that this is the way the cookie crumbled between y'all, because it was only a matter of time that she was going to gather some type of information and use it against you. We've seen it done time and time again. That seems to be the type of person that Mia is. She'll be all nice to you in your face and stuff like that, but also be pocketing that information to weaponize it against you at a later time. Just saying. And embellish with lies, because she be lying. She be lying, y'all. But Karen peeps game, y'all. And Jacqueline is still very much crying in her confessional and at the table about how Karen is just, out to get her and she's not the liar, but Karen keeps calling her a liar, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, no one really cares, Jacqueline. You set yourself up for that last week, and I'm not backing down on that. Sorry. We can disagree in the comments, but I'm not backing down on that because that's just how I feel. That is just how I feel, y'all. Mia then turns to Karen and takes things further by asking her if this has impacted things between her and Ray. And Karen actually says that they were going through stuff before that. And we get the flashback of him not knowing if he was quite in love with her or not. And that whole thing. We know that there's been stuff going on between them behind the scenes for seasons now. But I'm just like, did you really expect her to come forth and tell you that information, Mia? Like, we never really got, I feel like, down to the nitty gritty with that anyway. And we're definitely not going to get any more information. Like, she's not going to give us anything more than what we already know about her. If we didn't already know her name was Karen Huger, aka the Grand Dame, she wouldn't even told us that this season. That's just how she's just out of answers. She's out of answers and she's out of clarification. So if it was me, I would have just set my sights on other stuff. But because Mia is just so hell-bent on staying on the show and whatnot, she's going to keep trying to poke and prod and all the things at Karen and whoever else just for a storyline. And I think it's ridiculous. Anyway, moving right along. There's only 1 hour left for Wendy in her 30s. We know she is the proud Gemini out there still trying to celebrate. She's very much still like, it's my birthday. It's all about me today, unapologetically. She's trying to, be in the best space ever because it's her birthday. And I'm honestly not mad at it. A lot of people online were feeling some type of way and wanting her to stop talking about how it was her birthday. But I'm just like, well, one, she's not like, it's just like, I feel like Wendy is always going to be damned on the show. She's damned if she does. She's damned if she doesn't. And I say that because it's like, y'all complain when she talks about her degrees and all her accolades and stuff. Y'all complain when she gets into it and is defending herself. Y'all don't want to see her. Like you guys just don't want to see her, my girl, be great. And it's just like, for what? Especially this. Like, this is the most general thing that happens to everybody on this earth. We all have a birthday. Whether you celebrate it or not is up to you. But we all have a birthday, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with her wanting to celebrate her birthday. Like, goodbye. Anyway, we see Mia, Ashley, and Jacqueline take a moment to discuss what went down at dinner. And Mia's like, what did I do? Like, just acting so confused. And it's like, girl, you know exactly what you did. You know exactly what you're playing at. We're not dumb. You might be, but we're not. And she's just like, I had to help my girl out because she was sinking and I couldn't let her drown. And I'm just like, not only have you let Jacqueline drown before in the past, you've also drowned her. Like, you've been like, she's drowned by way of your hands before. So let's stop. That was just something good it was just good TV for you to go and try to spar and try to put Karen on Front Street. You were not doing that to save your friend because you don't quite care about her. And that was evident based on how you've handled her in previous seasons. So anyway. And she also points out how Karen did admit at the table that she left the restaurant and got in her car drunk. So that's the only thing in this conversation I couldn't disagree with her on, y'all, because like I just said, Karen, you did admit that openly on the table. Has she responded to that anywhere online? Y'all let me know, because I thought, like, I was like, am I hearing things? Like, did she really just say that on TV? Like, that's not going to play over well. Because if I was, If I was prosecuting you or whatever, I would definitely use that against you if I could. If it was legal, I definitely would. If I'm just keeping it 1,000, and if I'm just being 100% real with you guys, I would. Easy bait. Too easy. What else happened in this little 2-second scene? Ashley over there shaking her head and all of her messy glory. Yeah, Ashley, not too much on you. Mia calls it and says that Karen's going to wake up pissed and she's going to call her bloggers to ask them what they have on her. And I'm like, was that you actually speaking things into existence? Because honestly, I feel like that's kind of what did happen later on the episode, and we'll expound upon it once I get there. But I did find that interesting that Mia not only brought that up, but because we've kind of seen that in the past. I feel like where Karen's processed things and then she's came back full force, or Gizelle does the same thing a lot of times too, because she's not someone that's going to really be great at verbally sparring and reading and doing all the things in the moment, but they're both good for coming back with the heat for real. But calling up bloggers, what's that about, Karen? I'd love to know more. Please tell me you're not. Please tell me you're not on that Jersey shit in that, and in that Salt Lake City ish. Please tell me you're not one of the. And we know, like, I mean, yes, across the board, do the girls talk to the blogs and bloggers and have their people? Yes, they do. They definitely do. But Karen, I'm gonna need you. I'm not liking everything that's coming out about you, Karen. Every time I turn around, it's something negative. You're looking real bad out here. I can't defend you. And y'all know I love me some Grand Dame. I love Karen down. I really do. But I can't stand by when I see certain just stupidity. Moving along, it is now T minus 15 minutes until Wendy's birthday, and we see Stacey outside FaceTiming TJ, aka her best friend. I'm making this face because I still feel the same. I still feel the same way about him. However, I will say he was trying his hardest to paint a different picture in my head during this scene, and I only say that because we don't see him during this call, but he does sound a lot more cheerful. And I'm glad to hear from her, which is a whole, like, talk about leaps and bounds and an entire 180 than the energy he was giving down at that gym or whatever when we seen him a couple episodes ago. He was very much, hi, princess. And because I like Stacey and because I have zero interest in hating on her relationship or wishing ill will on her. Well, can I even call it a relationship? No, on her in her platonic friendship with this person, relationship with this person. But it's just I can't forget the past. First impressions are everything, aren't they? Right? And that's the impression he left on a lot of us online. So even in this moment, even though he was sounding nicer and friendlier and more into her, I guess, he just quickly turned things into what I perceive as somebody who wants to be on camera. And I say that because she's telling him how, like, the ladies have been asking about him nonstop, and he's like, "Oh well, I told you to lean into the camaraderie and tell them more. You know, if you he wants her to share and all the things, and again, that's cool on one hand, but I moved to say that you're just doing this because you just want to be talked about and you want to be on camera. Are you guys not picking that up? Because I am. I'm sorry. I really am. And we still haven't found out if he got that job at QVC or not. And if you did, I mean, cool. But if you didn't at the same time, regardless, it shows that you're comfortable being on screen in front of the camera, all the things. If your personality is complementary to hers, it tells me that, yeah, you would be great for this type of situation, this type of show, this type of platform. So I feel like, Stacey, just be careful. Like, did he know before you guys got together? Like, did he know that you were coming on the show, or like what? I don't know. We go from you guys being respectful, and him trying to you know, not take it in the bedroom with you and all the things, to him now like motivating you and championing you, talking about him on camera. I don't know. I just, because we've seen it play out this way so much on shows, people coming out the woodwork wanting to get their 15 minutes off your back. I just go into defense mode right off the bat as soon as I see just even a sprinkle of that. Just saying, y'all. Anyway, Wendy actually comes out. He's, says happy birthday to her or whatever. And all the, like, a couple of the other ladies, I think it was like Karen, Kay, Mia, they were all inside, like, oohing and eyeing all at them talking and stuff. And I'm just like, I hope somebody's got their good eye on him, because I'm just not convinced. Are y'all convinced? Y'all let me know. Anyway, 3 minutes until Wendy's birthday at this point, and they're all gathered around trying to stay up and bringing her birthday on a good note and all of that. Of course, Karen has to let us know, because she's been low-key throwing shade at Wendy's birthday this entire time. If I'm being absolutely honest with you guys, she had to let us know that for her 40th, it didn't resemble anything like this. Okay, it was an entire house party. Okay, and it was going down. PJs were nowhere in sight. No, ma'am. Not at all. But anyway, Wendy shares some words with the girls and tells them, how she was at first very disappointed, or maybe she said in her confessional, I don't remember, how she was disappointed about this birthday, because she usually spends her birthdays out of the country, and this year they're in Lake Norman. Anyway, but fast forward, this has actually become one of her best birthdays ever. And this is, I think, when she goes into her confessional to say that she was nervous about turning 40, but it was actually her mom that said, and I think I wrote it down. Her mom said, people who are scared about their age are people who feel like they haven't accomplished what they need to accomplish by that age. And that really calmed her nerves, because we all know, and she starts the accolades and titles and accomplishments all start, rolling off her tongue. And that actually is what allowed her to be more comfortable entering this new chapter. Getting older is not a bad thing, y'all. It's actually a beautiful thing that not everybody can actually say that they've done. We know a lot of people, I'm sure, that and we know a lot of people, sorry y'all, I thought I heard a noise, aren't fortunate to make it to, double digits, to, to 40, to any age, particular age. So it's not promised to us. So I really thought that was a nice way to look at it. And, we might say what we say about Wendy's mom sometimes, but she definitely hit the nail on the head with that one, because it's like, I feel like sometimes we put so much unnecessary pressure on ourselves to be at a certain meet a certain mark in life by this age, have kids by this age, get married by this age, do this and it's just like, it's okay to let life develop how it develops. To, you always need to be happy about the person you see in the mirror. And if you can look in yourself in the eyes and be happy with the person you are, and not put those extra unnecessary pressures on yourself to be at a certain point, to do this, to do that. I really feel like that's the epitome of like really living. I really do. I might sound cheesy and horny and all the things, but anyway, let me get off my soapbox. So yeah, they, dance, they having fun for a second, bringing in Wendy's birthday and everything. Mia's shaking her BBL. It was good vibes. But is that going to last long? Probably not. Moving on to day 2 down in Lake Norman. Mia checks in with Jacqueline, because yesterday was a lot for her. And, Karen's a tough cookie. And Mia also was saying how everything was good with her until she woke up this morning to seeing this slew of text messages from Gordon. He was blowing her phone up, apparently having a manic episode, so she would say. And he was actually upset right now, though, about an Instagram post that she actually posted in April, which was the month prior, because Wendy's birthday is May 21st. So if he was complaining about something from April previous month, that's old news, pretty much, is what Mia was trying to say. And like, she has a point there, but Jacqueline also had some points in this, surprisingly enough. And I say that because they both together are a lot of chocolate chips short of a cookie, if you know what I'm saying. She's saying he's feeling used and hurt, of of course she feeds him some BS that involves the phrase "I love you." Yeah, they're still saying that type of stuff, kind of. And she's like, she's not left his side. And Jacqueline's like, no, you haven't left his side because you guys actually live in the same building. And she goes on to say in her confessional how that was not a good idea. Mia's very spoiled. She's been spoiled by Gordon since day one of their relationship, and that is still something that continues. So them moving on top of each other was insane. They speak about how Mia is still telling Gordon that she loves him, and she equates that to how she tells Jacqueline she loves her. Mia, somebody that I don't know which. I mean, I was about to say someone that you sleep with, but you and freaking Jacqueline seem to possibly be bumping cooters too. So I don't. Let me not use that as justification. What I will say though is that somebody who you took vows with, who you've been in an outwardly romantic relationship with, that you share kids with, even though that's been questioned lately. That's not the fucking same, Mia. And you know it. Somebody who still lets you know every 2 seconds, I'm sure, when you guys lock eyes, that they're in love with you, still want to be with you in that way. It's probably not in your best interest, in the best interest of the kids, the best interest of the entire situation, for you to continue to say that you love that person, because it's going to give them false hope and allow them to think that you guys are going to get back together as long as they get their ish straight, and that this is just a little phase over here. Which, sidebar, what I saw online is that they unfollowed each other. Mia and Ink did, is the word on the street. So who knows? That might have done faded already, which I wouldn't be surprised about, honestly. But going back to what I'm saying now, which is, Mia, that's not the same thing. And you're making it a whole hell of a lot worse. And you're probably triggering these episodes. And you're wondering why there's so much fallout from your life right now, is because of these types of things. You are also to blame here, ma'am. Just saying. Mia tries to say it's Gordon that throws the fits because he wants to be around until he gets around and realizes he can't quite handle that. And then he throws these types of fits. Take the emotion. Why am I having to tell this lady this at her big age? Like, anyway, she's not going to listen. So I'm not even going to waste my breath on it, y'all. Anyway, Jacqueline says Gordon technically is the nanny at this point, in response to why Mia is confused when it comes to the whole using part, because he's the one that insists on being around and she's the one that financially supports him. I said enough already. Moving on. We get this quick little scene. Like I said before, we see Gizelle for 2.2 seconds. The twins, they have their cap and gown ceremony. It's a bittersweet occasion for her because this is the last time she's going to attend this type of event. Also has to think about the fact that her dad is not here. Jamal was there, of course. He gives the speech and actually shouts out the dad, which is nice. But she's like, she did the damn thing. Her kids are amazing. And y'all, God damn it, she's right. Like, it's crazy. I still haven't said anything I feel like negative about Gizelle Bryant this season. I would never think that I would be at this point in my life. I didn't. Can you guys believe that we're here? We're here though. Anyway, but yeah, that's something that I've never taken away from her, that I've seen a lot of people never take away from her, which is that, Gizelle, you are a good mom. You do love your kids. You show up for them how you need to every time we've seen her on here. So I wish Angel and Adore nothing but the best. They seem to, yes, have good heads on their shoulders. So, yeah, pat yourself on the back for that one, Gizelle. I will give you that. Moving right along, then we see the ladies. They have this wonderful breakfast spread, and is this the final? Is this the final scene? I think so, pretty much. Yeah. Okay. Rolling through this. So the breakfast spread looked absolutely delicious. Let me just say that. The waffle, I saw some waffles. Um, they had all the things that I enjoy. So shout outs to you as far as hosting and doing all that. You did the damn thing with that one, Mia. I'll give it to you. Wendy's still on cloud nine. She's feeling super loved. And one thing she wants to accomplish is during her 40th year is skydiving. You know who in the group who's also done skydiving, y'all? Ashley. You know I'm making this face because I don't quite care. I don't care, y'all. And each week I come down here, I'm constantly reminded why, or I'm constantly questioning, I should say, why are you here, Ashley Darby? Why are you here? Why are you here? Because we get this flashback of her saying how on their second date, it's like 2012, her and Michael actually skydived. And again, I'm just sitting here like, I don't want to hear it. It's not working for Ashley because it's like, if she's not being messy, we have zero interest in hearing anything that she has going on in her personal life. I mean, we don't like to see Michael at all or hear anything that has to do with him, and that's like the only other thing she has going on. So I'm really still wondering what is your place on the show, and I feel like she is getting they're gearing up her pink slip and her white box. Shout out to Rodney the Voice. Like, come on now. Anyway, I think it was Jassi, Wendy. Somebody asked what the itinerary, includes that day. Y'all, why did Mia say that she was taking them to one of her first doctor's offices that she owned in Charlotte? And they were like, "Excuse me? Who the said that that's what we want to do? What happened to going to the spa, to going wine tasting, to going to a day party, to getting on a catamaran, to going a little luxury shopping, a paint and sip, pottery, anyone? What happened to doing those types of things? Where did you guys hear me say, go to my first doctor's office? No, you guys didn't hear me say that. And I wasn't going to say that because who wants to do that on a girls' trip? Not me. If those are the type of girls' trips y'all want to plan, don't ever invite me. Anyway, and especially if the doctor's name is McDaddy. I was Karen. McDaddy got a McHo with him? Hey, oh my God. Anyway, so while they're eating breakfast, Gizelle actually FaceTimes Wendy to say happy birthday to her, y'all. They're still making strides forward in their friendship. I'm just gonna leave that there. So they have like a cute 2 seconds with that. Giselle's at the airport on her way back. When she gets off the phone, they actually do make note of they've come a long way. Wendy's just trying to be on some zen-ish, some forgiving-ish, all the things. And when she's saying that, Jacqueline, of course, responds to try to throw subliminal shots. She denies that it was subliminal shots. I feel like it was. What did she say? That being able to forgive and move forward, because when you hold grudges and don't let go of things, that's only going to keep you bitter, nasty, and mean. Oh, that last part was Mia, or no, that was Jacqueline. Bitter, nasty, and mean. You got to let things go. You do, Jacqueline, but my whole question in this moment was like, why don't you take your own advice? Because clearly you haven't let go of that verbal ass whipping that you got last week, because you still haven't learned, because you're still trying to get things started, I feel like, at this table, because your butt hurt and got your feelings hurt because you tried to bark up a tree that was the wrong one. Sorry, but not. And then that's when Mia said, when you hold grudges, it's going to make you a bitter old bitch. Okay, so I see what's going on here. And mind you, for the most part at this table, Karen was on mute. She was very chill, very docile, very just taking everything in. Maybe because she was sober. Anyway, let me stop. And Stacey's like, "Are you talking about Karen?" Saying exactly what we're thinking. And it was Karen that was like doing one of her famous deer in the headlights faces. Do I got any pictures here of her making that face? Y'all know the type of face that she be making. Yeah, she did one of those. Ooh, and Ashley tried to say the same thing, and I was like, Ashley, why are you asking? Shut up. Anyway, and she and Jacqueline's like, no, she wasn't talking about her. She just meant in general. Karen ain't having fun, and neither will we, because you're not. Move on. You're not going to get any answers from her, and you are just going to get another verbal attack. So just anyway. And then this is where Kay and Mia start going back and forth, because Kay jumps in and she's like, goddamn, like, you really held on to that for 3 years? Yeah, that's some wild. People like that have problems, Kay. Yeah. And Mia's on this whole kick about it being like boot camp, and she's throwing shots back at Kay, talking about I passed boot camp, but you still looking for your flute or whatever. And Kay's like, oh no, I got I don't need a flute or whatever. Because, are you sure though? Because this triangle is very interesting. They start going back and forth. I'm like, oh, okay. And everybody else is like, oh, okay, too. Stacey, this is how it goes down. She was unclear, but this is Stacey, you're getting a real raw live rundown of how these housewife things work. So just buckle up, strap on in. You're good. And I want to say, like, Jacqueline, she started to jump in as well, because Mia decides to say out of her face, what did she say? She said, you know about the streets stitches to Kay. If y'all don't know, like, because of that whole situation last season, she was left with a big scar, with the scar. That's a sore subject for her, obviously. And I loved how it was Wendy that actually clocked this, because it's like, that was just foul to say, and I loved how later on Kay was like, if I talk about her craters in her face though, or whatever, that'll be a whole other conversation though, right? And especially because Mia was right there breaking things up or talking, whatever. So it's just like, because you got a hair up your ass, you want to start bringing up a sensitive subject like that. Nasty behavior, nasty work. Mia, you're nasty. And yeah, it was Jacqueline talking about we don't harp on people's past and stuff like that. We don't harp on people's past. Oh yeah, because I missed the part about how was it Mia? Oh yeah, Mia wanted to call out the fact that Kay used to date a drug dealer or whatever. And I love how Kay was like, which one? Who? Because my man now is the a licensed clinical social worker. And Mia, I'm still trying to understand, when you say that you're a self-made millionaire, okay, where are the millions at though? Because if you're a self-made millionaire, you wouldn't have found yourself in the financial crisis and housing situations. You wouldn't have been on your fourth house abode in the last, what would she say, 3 years, something like that. So let's not. But I feel like I was happy with Kay in this moment. I feel like she handled herself very well. She went and, exited stage left when it got to be too much for her, collected herself, and then came back and collected the Ashleys up of the world, because Ashley thought it was okay to poke her head into the business and ask Kay about her scar in this moment. Yeah. Did you have a scar on your forehead? And shout out to Jassi for trying to, move things along and fix the situation or whatever. But it's people like Ashley that really get on my nerves, because like Ashley, yeah, Ashley's she's a dangerous breed, because for you to she was gaslighting Kay right in her face, because it's like, you have the audacity. You're the reason why the scar is you're part of the reason why the scar is even here. I don't care. I fully stand on that, because she shouldn't have been invited in the first place. You knew what the circumstances were. You knew her issue when you invited her. And a lot of people are online talking about, well, Kay had no business jumping in it or whatever. She got herself involved. Like, she didn't have to do that. She got herself that scar on her own. And I'm just like, are you guys dumb? Like, have you guys been watching the same show for the past 9 seasons that I have? Clearly you haven't, because if that didn't have, and just based on how Ashley reacted and the things that she said, what did she say? Something along the lines of like, like she didn't expect it to go the way it did or something. Or just the way she responded to that entire situation leads me to believe that you knew exactly what type of, like, you knew, even if you didn't think it was going to be a drag out fight, you knew that something was going to, you knew something was going to shake when you invited that girl. And now you're going to sit in this girl's face and and bring up a sensitive subject like that you were involved in, Ashley. If I saw her walking down the street, I would cross the street and walk the other way. And don't nobody put fear in my heart on this earth. But she's somebody, I don't want that type of energy around me. That is wild. So of course, like I said before, Kate gets up. She's upset, rightfully so. Wendy, shout out to Wendy. She actually went to go check on her friend this time, unlike, last season and everything. So that was cool. And shout out to Jassi in this moment too, because yeah, do you wear glasses, Ashley? Because the scar is right there. And you trying to act like it was about the skincare, bitch. You knew damn well it wasn't about the skincare. Stop playing in our faces. And shout out, because my tweet actually blew up when Kay said, because I tweeted it, X'd it, however you guys want to put it, and said, when Kay said, you actually should just shut the fuck up, Ashley. Yes, you actually should shut the fuck up. I know that's right, Kay, because that's exactly how I felt in that moment. I don't like when people do stuff like that, if you guys haven't noticed. Anyway. The last little thing we get, y'all, is between Karen and Jacqueline. Between Karen and Jacqueline. She just won't learn. She just hasn't learned her lesson, clearly, Jacqueline. So Karen's done resting at this point, and she's activated enough to turn to, they're trying to get things back on track, but Karen finds it in her spirit to turn to Jacqueline and, ask a messy question. And she asks her, aren't you trying to work it out with Mr. PP or whatever, who cares? And Jacqueline's like, yeah, things at this very moment are going in a positive direction between us. Like, we're going good as far as the co-parenting and everything. And Karen's like, oh, okay. So was that after the 25 convictions that he had? Like, did you stand by him for that? Baby, audible gasps all around the table, of course. And shout out to Mia, because she did call it. Whether or not Karen went in her phone that night to go and look this up or whatever, investigating it right there, or whether or not she's been sitting on this whole time, who knows? But she brought it up now, and obviously she has Jacqueline at the top of her FU list. So Wasn't a surprise there. But Jacqueline being so hurt by this and saying that, he doesn't deserve this. And, you bringing this up and he's an innocent person who's not even at this table, like was just so low to her. But again, you didn't have to take it with like you bringing up the fact that she's currently potentially still drinking or whatever while she's still actively involved in this case. That couldn't have been beneficial and could have really blew her life too, maybe then. So you did something that could be very destructive also. So I'm not saying what she did was right, what Karen did was right at all, or had anything to do with him or anything like that. No, but it's like, if you take it low with some people, you never know where they can go with it, y'all. That's all I'm going to say. That is my piece of advice for the day. Karen says he was charged and fired. Jacqueline says it was an internal investigation within the police department. It wasn't any public criminal offenses. He lost his position, but since he's moved somewhere else to a new position and as a police officer. Karen's like, oh, because I was told she left him for the 25 charges and stuff like that. And Mia's like, she stood by that man. She helped rebuild that man. She was hurt by that man. She was hurt again by that man. All the things, Jacqueline. And I'm just like, yeah, that makes sense. She's like, she's really loyal. Mia said that about Jacqueline. I'm like, yeah, I bet she is loyal, Mia. And that's exactly why you also treat her like shit. And that's because in your eyes, you can treat her any type of way. And then next season, she's going to be coming back on here, embarrassing herself, windmilling for you, or, having your back and letting you just treat her any type of way. You guys need to realize that the ways in which certain people sometimes show up in their romantic relationships is also the same way that they will show up in their platonic interpersonal relationship, relationships as well. Yeah. I actually have a personal story time on that one if you guys ever want to hear. But the way in which people show up to their partners a lot of times is the same way they'll try to show up to you or treat you or whatever. And that's why I believe Jacqueline, when she said what she said before about how Mia's used to being waited on hand and foot and stuff like that, whatever. She expects you to still treat her a certain type of way. She knows how to push people's buttons, how to get what she wants from people is what it seems like. Yeah, I believe it. It's her birthday. Show some respect. Stacey is funny. I don't care what anybody has to say. Stacey is funny. She's good in my book. She is okay. She is here to stay, in my opinion. Jacqueline, you'll be all right. You will be okay. And I thought it was funny too how Jacqueline, you are a flipper because 10 minutes. First of all, you act like you don't know what's going on and asking questions as if you weren't sitting at the table also. That's strike number 1 with you. And then strike number 2 is the fact that you just wanted to talk about not judging people for their past or whatever, or judging people from their past and stuff like that. But in this same breath, now we get to this point where you're the spotlight is put on you and you want to switch up and talk about, and I'm glad Wendy brought it up, how you wanted to talk about this whole matter. Like everybody has a past or whatever, but that's not the same. That's not what you were saying 10 minutes ago. Like, so which one is it? Which one is it? She doesn't know. Anyway, y'all, this concludes my recap review for The Real Housewives of Potomac. I hope you enjoyed my commentary. Y'all, if you made it this far and you still haven't liked the video, I don't know what you're waiting for, but please hit that like button for me right now. I'll give you 2 seconds. 1, 2. Yeah, hit that like button for me. Please let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.